I think we're gonna have a really hard time getting out of the pot. Oh my gosh, this is tough. And I'm making a mess. Come on, baby. I'm like ripping up the roots. Here we go. How I just got a bunch of soil on me. Hi everyone, I'm Sloan, and today we are repotting all of the plants that I've been putting off repotting since I moved 1,000 miles to Texas just a couple months ago. And I have about half a bin of soil left, and so I anticipate that we're probably just gonna go until I run out of soil, because I do have some larger plants that I want to repot. All right, so the plant we're starting off with today is my avocado tree. Feels like a little precarious to have it on this table, but here we are. This just dries out. This pot is gorgeous, but it dries out far too quickly. And a lot of you recommended that I use this as a cash po instead, but I just really don't like the look of cash pos. I just think that plants look, and in my perspective, like, do what you want with your own plant collection, of course, but from my perspective, I just think that plants look so much better when they're potted directly in the pot. And so I've considered glazing the inside of this, but I think what I've landed on is I'm just gonna put a plant in here that doesn't mind drying out a bit more. And the soil in here is fresh. I think I repotted this, you know, not that, just a couple months before we moved or something like that. So I'm totally fine reusing some of it. Plus, this plant hasn't had any pests, I don't think. If it has, it was just spider mites, I don't even remember. But yeah, so I would like to pot this up in a new pot and just put some other plant in here that won't mind drying out so I can keep using the pot. And I think I'm going to put my bambino fiddle fig in here. Solid chance we do that today. That plant, oh my gosh, I think we're gonna have a really hard time getting out of the pot. I'm kind of nervous about it because the pot I put it in is one that you should really, you'll just see. You'll just have to see. But yeah, I have so many plants that needed repotted even before I moved, but I waited because we drove with around 50 plants 1,000 miles from Iowa to Texas. And then I also have a bunch of cuttings of plants that I need to take care of and pot up as well. But you know, when you're driving with potted plants, they take up a lot of space, and so a lot of them needed up potted, and so it's just a bad idea to up pot them before moving. Also, I hope that you can see well enough. My favorite way to watch repotting videos is with the two angles, and so where you could see like the close-up view and then it would switch back and forth. But I have an iPhone 12 mini with 64 gigs of storage, and so I just never have enough storage to be able to do that kind of thing. But I just got a new phone. We're going to go pick it up tomorrow, actually. And so in the future, hopefully my repotting videos will have that kind of like back and forth. But for today, you're kind of getting me far away. Okay, and you might be looking at me because odds are you live somewhere where it's cold. And guess what? I used to too. The fact that it is December and I'm outside in shorts and a t-shirt, oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Actually, it is so nice. I'm gonna go for a run later outside. Maybe I'll wear a tank top. Like what a luxury to live somewhere where I don't have to bundle up. I thought I would miss it, and so far I am not missing it. But yeah, the roots in here, it's just getting kind of difficult to get this plant out. So maybe I will actually do something like this. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's helping a little. Okay, interesting. So this is actually a much smaller root ball than I thought it was gonna be. Interesting. I'm gonna see, you know what? I'm gonna pot it in here anyway. This is obviously not a large root ball, but I want this plant to have room to grow, and also it dries out too quickly. And so I think by having the extra soil in here, that will be helpful. Plus, this pot also tapers down, and so it looks like a big pot, but in actuality, it, you know, tapers down, like I said. So I think it should be fine. Also, I got this at a Goodwill here, which I thought was a great find. I don't remember how much it was. Oh wait, it was $10, which Goodwill has gotten so expensive, but let's see. In actuality, this terracotta pot might be too small for my bambino fiddle fig. We'll have to check out the root system on that. I think that the root system on that one is going to be quite developed once we break it out. I think that's what we're gonna find. Here we go. Okay, so just based on the soil mass that's already in here, I think these pots are very similarly sized. Now I'm just gonna add a bit more fresh soil on the top. I have a bunch of orchids that need repotted as well, but I don't have any orchid soil. Oh my gosh, there's a bug. So I think it's just a grasshopper or something, but it's loud. The bugs here, scary bugs. Not a fan. I thought I'd be fine. But last night we were just hanging out in the living room and Winston is, my dog, one of them, is halfway down the hallway fighting what we learned was a spider, but from far away I couldn't tell if it was a spider or a tarantula, and the fact that it was trying to fight him, I thought it was a scorpion or a spider. I thought that it was a scorpion, and then I was scared something was gonna happen to him, and we were all like yelling, and then my husband killed it, but then Winston was gonna eat it, and we were like, Winston, don't eat it, because we didn't know if it was poisonous or something, but that was fine. It was just like, you know, we killed it, it was gross, we move on, whatever. Next thing we know, Winston is battling another spider, the same kind, and so he kills that one, and then we're like, okay, this is great, he killed it, just don't, Winston loves to fight bugs. He kills it, and we're like, great, we just still don't want him to eat it because we don't know what it is. And then I turn around and there's another one behind me, same kind. These, I haven't even like described how big they are. They were like this big, they were huge, they were so disgusting and black and just, they were awful. But there's one behind me, and so then I'm screaming again. And the closest way that I can describe this feeling is if you've ever played Animal Crossing and there's a tarantula in Animal Crossing that if it bites you, you pass out and you wake up in front of your house. And sometimes when it's nighttime and you're playing Animal Crossing, you're looking for the tarantula because you can sell them for quite a few bells. I'm a big Animal Crossing fan. But other times you're just minding your own business and they sneak up and bite you. And that is exactly how this felt to me. Like I felt like I was in Animal Crossing in my house and these spiders were gonna come get me and like bite me and I was gonna pass out. And so we killed that one. And then I was researching spiders in Texas, and I'm pretty sure they were trapdoor spiders, which are really interesting because they build these little, like they actually look like trapdoors. I will not be putting any photos or videos in this video to save people who don't want to look at these things, but if you're curious, look it up. They're so fascinating. We don't have anything like that in Iowa. And when it rains a lot, they come inside, and it had been raining quite a bit. And so we had 3 within the span of 30 minutes. And then none the rest of the night, but the rest of the night I was like taking Winston with me everywhere throughout the house so that he could be our hunter and our protector of the spiders. But that's not a fun Texas thing, I have to say. I was ready, I was prepared for some things. Ooh, that was not fun. But anyway, this plant I think is done. So I'm gonna go run inside and give it a fresh watering. And I think it's gonna be much happier in here than it was before. And then I'll go get the next plant. The next plant that we're going to be repotting is my bambino fiddle leaf fig, which has gotten huge, clearly. I got this in 2021, I think, and it was one of the first plants that I got right as I was getting into the houseplant hobby, and it did have spider mites for a brief period, but we were actually in the clear, and I didn't even use any pest treatment on it. I just sprayed it with water and they all are gone, thankfully. So that's really cool. Definitely recommend trying that for spider mites. It just has like some dog hair stuck in it. But yeah, I think I'm working on researching a spider mite pest treatment video. Oh my gosh, but look at, some of these roots have died because I've been needing to do this for a while. This definitely needs repotted, and I think this is gonna make a mess when I do this. And the difficult thing is the pot shape. The way that it tapers like this is gonna make it really hard to get this plant out of here. We're gonna do our best. Let's see. But yeah, I'm researching for a how to get rid of spider mites, you know, science-based tips video. I'm learning everything I can about spider mites to kind of be similar to my how to get rid of thrips video that people seem to have found quite helpful. So let me know if you have any spider mite tips in the comments, or if you're interested in that. That kind of video takes a long time to make because Oh my gosh. I'm trying to learn everything I can about each life cycle stage and what pest treatments target each part of the life cycle stage. So if you've seen my thrips video, I go through the like egg stage and the 2 larva stages as well as the adult stage, talk about the differences, if they harm your plants at each stage, and then like what pest treatments target each one. So it just takes a long time because I'm trying to understand the science behind different pesticides and things like that. And I'm not, like, I do have a STEM degree, but I'm not like in that area of STEM. Like, I don't know what that would be, like pest research, horticulture, plant stuff, I don't know. So it just takes me a while, but I think that they're very fun to make because they're so informative, and there just aren't a lot of videos on YouTube like that. Like most pest treatment videos, people aren't taking the time to research it to that extent, which is totally fine. Also, it's a hobby. Like if you don't find researching that kind of thing fun, then don't research it. But that's the kind of content that when I found thrips in my house that I was trying to find on YouTube and it didn't exist, so I decided to make it. This is so difficult. I also wanted to thank so many of you for watching and enjoying the home tour of my Texas house. You guys gave me so many good ideas for how to kill the weeds that are growing between the path. Like I'm gonna sneeze. Oh my goodness, our little pathway that's in our backyard. A bunch of you said to use either boiling water or, oh my gosh, there's one of those spiders. Are you kidding me? And Winston is playing with it. He's just sniffing it. Do I show you guys? Okay, trigger warning if you don't like spiders. He's just having a good time playing with it. Well, I flipped the camera around and now he's not even doing anything with it. Is it boring when it's outside, bud? Winston, look, it's moving. See, I'm happy you can have fun with it, I guess. Trapdoor spiders are supposedly really good for killing your garden pests and things like that, so I'm not mad about them being outside. They're scary looking. I don't even think that one looked kind of small in comparison to what was inside my house last night. But what was I saying? Oh, the garden path. I think I'm definitely gonna do a bit more research. But yeah, I think that I'm definitely leaning towards some kind of mixture of like vinegar, boiling water, dish soap situation. I think it's gonna take I'm just looking at the paths right now. They're covered in weeds because the weather in here is insane, and like everything turned green and luscious like in November, which just is so strange to me. Like it feels like spring right now. There's a bug, oh my gosh. And see, there's so many bugs. Like it's like it's spring. This is tough. When I bought this pot, I saw someone say that they had to crack it to get their plant out. And I remember being like, oh, I just won't wait that long to repot. And here I am dealing with that same issue. The pot is just from Target. Oh my gosh. And I'm making a mess. Okay, come on, baby. No? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm definitely damaging the root system. I really like this pot. Oh my gosh. We are making progress. I might have to break this pot or like severely damage the root system. Oh my gosh, why'd I wait so long? This is your sign to not wait so long. Oh my gosh. Because I'm like ripping up the roots. And here's the thing about fiddle leaf figs. This thing is gonna be so unhappy when I move it. And it was so happy before, but like I couldn't keep living the way it was living. And if I can get more of the dirt out from between the roots, I'm getting so much dirt in my nails right now. Usually I wear gloves. I don't know where they are. But if I can get some of the dirt out from between the roots, then theoretically I should be able to figure this out. But that's definitely going to damage the root ball, my attempts to do that. Okay, how are we doing? Come on, baby. Come on, come on. We're so close. Not really, but we're closer than we were before. And fiddle leaf figs are trees, so these are some intense roots. Come on. I really like this pot. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. I don't want to get rid of it. This soil looks really good. Actually, like it's still, I don't know, like a nice texture of soil. I think sometimes when soil's kind of old, it can start to look weird, but it's old soil. It's been years since I've repotted this, so I'm not gonna reuse it. Are you kidding me? Come on. I'm scratching up the outside of the pot so much, but that's kind of part of the look of the pot now, for sure, I guess. Let's try this again. Okay, I'm hearing some roots ripping, but here we go, here we go. I think we're gonna keep it. I think we're gonna, yes, 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 yes. I get to keep the pot. Oh my gosh, what an adventure that just was. And I'm making such a mess that I'm gonna have to clean up, but yeah, wow. Okay, now we get to decide the pot, and I really do think, like, this is one of my favorite pots, so I think that this could make sense, but I also, it's gonna grow out of it too quickly. So I have a couple other options. Excuse me, Winston. So I have 2 more pots that could work. I actually bought these back in Iowa when I was home. Well, Texas is home now, but first home for Thanksgiving. So this is the first one. I really like the tray on the bottom, although it is porous, and it's not good to have a porous tray because it's just pointless. Like, it's gonna damage your flooring, and so I should really glaze this. That's a future problem. But let's see how this is gonna fit in here. Definitely a bit more space, I think, than the terracotta one. And then I have this one. This one is also a porous material, and that's probably gonna give it the most space. So that might be the one. Yeah, I think this is it. This is the biggest pot that I have, and I just feel like $25 for a pot this size. That's beautiful and unique. I had to buy it and literally drive all the way back to Texas with it, but I haven't been plant shopping here yet. So I'm sure there's really cool pots here as well. I just haven't even been so busy unpacking and stuff. And I was actually gonna go plant shopping this morning and film a whole video and everything, but it said it wasn't gonna rain this weekend. So I was like, or today, excuse me, it's going to rain tomorrow. So I was like, okay, I'll go plant shopping tomorrow and do my repotting today. But this is my first time repotting at my new house, and my first time really filming extensively in my backyard. And other than the background noise that rain would cause, I'm on a covered patio, so the weather doesn't even really matter that much. Oh, my nail. I'm gonna break my nails. I'm usually so good about having my nails painted because your nails are stronger when they're painted, but I'm back to working in person a few days a week, and it is much harder to paint my nails when I'm in person so much, and also just not in a routine yet. But anyway, I'm hoping this doesn't throw too much of a fit. And it was in a ceramic pot, which that's gonna hold in more of the moisture, and this is some kind of terracotta, so I hope that it's fine with that as well, because I really should stop buying terracotta pots, but they're just so pretty. They're my favorite. So here we are. But yeah, so we moved here in October, and actually, I started my job like in August, and I was like back and forth between Texas and Iowa for 2 months, and then we moved here in October, and my husband had to go back to Iowa for a business trip almost right away, and then I went back to Iowa to surprise my brother for his birthday, and then I was home for a month, and then we went back for Thanksgiving, and so we've just been like so back and forth that it's just been very difficult to get into a routine. And also, you know, we still have so much unpacking to do, so I'm really looking forward to, in the first at least few months, probably longer, of 2025, not traveling at all. Oh, I also just got back from New York, so we went to Iowa for Thanksgiving. I was home for a few days, and then I left to go to New York to visit my best friend, and so it's just been so much traveling, and I'm not used to it, and I have a whole house to unpack and furnish and paint, hopefully, and all of these things. So I'm excited to be home in 2025 much more. Let's see. I think, what did I just touch that was sticky? Oh, I didn't like that. I don't know what that was. I think after this is just a ficus and tree repotting session, because you can't take cuttings of a, tree as easily as a lot of my philodendron, and so a lot of my plants that came with me to Texas from Iowa that I didn't take cuttings of were plants like this and also needed repotting. But anyway, I think we're gonna do my ficus Audrey next. If this hasn't been recording, please tell me. Cool, we're good. Okay, that might have to be the last plant that I repot. Actually, I don't even know if I have enough soil to do that plant. Because we're doing these huge plants, yeah, I might have to do something smaller and order some soil. I'm actually hoping I can get some soil locally, so I probably won't order any until I look tomorrow. Yeah, I think I'll be doing something smaller. That's so sad. I really wanted to do my ficus Audrey, but that's okay. All right, She is done. She is heavier. Of course she is. We don't like that, but she is done. Next, we're gonna work on my philodendron Summer Glory, which is smaller, and I have enough soil. I have plenty of soil to do at least a couple smaller plants, and I'm just gonna do that for now. Yeah, this is far away for you guys, but wait until I have my new phone. It's gonna be great. But anyway, this plant has just not been doing well, and I don't really know why, but I wonder if it doesn't like the pot that it's in. It just seems like summer glories can really get quite large, and so I'm wondering if it would like a bigger pot. So we're just gonna take it out and take a look at it. I'm not generally a big proponent of disturbing your plants too much. Like, usually I would try to do everything else that I could before I would say take your plant out to look at the roots. But there comes a point where like there's just, you don't know what else to do. It might be a good idea to look. Yeah, you can also get in the habit too much, and then you're constantly unpotting your plants and they're just never gonna be settled or happy if you're constantly like, something's wrong, I'm gonna take it out of the pot. So definitely I would recommend to do that sparingly. But yeah, I would say the roots are looking a little chunky. I think a bigger pot could be good. I'm gonna go take a look at my pots. I have a lot of pots. I packed, obviously when I downsized my collection quite a bit by taking cuttings, but I kept the majority of my pots. So I just have a lot of loose pots. So this will be fun. One moment. This is kind of a tough decision, but I am thinking that it could be cute in here. Ooh, I need to look at that. I showed you guys, but yeah, I think that could be cute. And this will give the roots more room to expand because it was just drying out so quickly too. That can be another sign that the root system's getting too big for the pot. And I don't think that that was too bad, but this will be good for it. I will say this, unfortunately, might be the last of my soil. Also need to look for something. I wanted to grab these mesh pads. I usually like to put just like a piece of orchid bark at the bottom, but I am getting to a part in my soil mixture where I just don't have a lot of orchid bark, which I don't love. I really, really do feel like my plants do better when I take, what I use is Fox Farms soil and I mix in perlite and orchid bark, and I think the orchid bark especially just really, really helps my plants do well. But I think I just ran out when I was mixing it, or I think maybe it was just testing to see how well they would do, but I do think it makes a difference. But this is what I have, so we're just gonna repot it anyway. I tend to be a perfectionist, and it can be good to exercise the ability to understand that like my plant's gonna grow, and it's gonna grow well anyway because Fox Farms soil is well, fertilized, and I can add fertilizer on top if I so wish. But yeah, anyway, it's gonna be fine. But yeah, I'll order some orchid bark if I don't get some in person tomorrow. I would love to have a big summer glory, so hopefully this helps. All right, I really packed that a little too close to the top, but I think it'll be fine. I also didn't pay any attention to how it looked from the front, which I would really recommend doing if you are potting a pot with a face in it, but I think it turned out pretty good. Yeah, that's cute. I definitely have enough soil for another one. So this is the last plant I think that we'll do for today, and this is a new plant to me. It is the anthurium serano purple, and this was an anthurium that I saw, look at that bloom. Such a pretty color. This was one that I saw at Reman Gardens in Iowa, which is a like botanical garden, arboretum kind of vibe. Oh my gosh, these are some chunky roots. This pot, it's gonna outgrow this pot very quickly, but I'm okay with that. But yeah, I saw these like purple blooms when I was there with my mom earlier this summer, and then when I went to Tonkadale Greenhouse in Minnesota, I'm gonna get out use another one of these guys. But Tonkadale had one, and these have been on my plant wish list since then, which I think a lot of people don't like anthurium blooms, so to each their own, but I think that they're pretty fun. I will say that under normal circumstances, this looks like really peaty peat moss soil, and I think that I probably would try to break it out, and that way my soil would be more mixed in here, which is a more chunky soil mixture, although it's not super chunky right now because I need orchid bark, but these roots look really happy, so I'm gonna leave them be. And like I said, this plant is gonna outgrow this pot super quickly. So I'm truly not that concerned. But for me, having my anthurium in a ceramic pot is an absolute non-negotiable. They just do so much better in ceramic versus terracotta that I'm not even gonna try risking it. Really all my plants except for like cacti do better, but it's just anthurium especially. I also like to wrap the top of them with sphagnum moss, so I'll do that with this eventually as well. Just right around the base of the plant, and that also helps them do very, very well. But I think really it's more of an issue with more finicky anthurium, and this is definitely more of your common household anthurium, so it's not something that you really have to worry about. But I bought this for largely the flowers, and so I want to keep it really, really happy. And this was drying out so much, so I think this is going to be much happier, even just having a little more soil to stay moist a bit longer so it doesn't get so thirsty so quickly. Here we go. Another happy plant. All right, I'm gonna call it good for now because I'm actually going to a party later, so I need to go wash my hands and bake some bread to take to the party. Oh, I don't know how I just got a bunch of soil on me. The dogs are coming to the party, so I'm gonna give them a bath. I need to sweep up my mess. I'm gonna go for a run because it's a beautiful day. And there will absolutely be more videos like this. So if you like this video, make sure to like it, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. I've noticed recently that a lot of the people that watch my videos aren't subscribed, so just double check if you haven't subscribed yet. And I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye!